Ricky-Jade Jones was once a highly touted wonder kid who seemed destined to leave behind the slog of League One in favor of Premier League glory. A half-decade later, the shine has worn off his wonder kid luster. But is that a lack of development, unrealistic expectations, or a simple case of prospect fatigue? With the Premier League once again coming calling, we have to ask the question, who is Ricky-Jade Jones? Player development is never linear, and the expectations are rarely fair, which makes the case of Ricky-Jade Jones part cautionary tale, part diamond in the rough, and part speedster in shorts, and that combination is starting to catch the attention of at least one Premier League squad. So we're going to break down who is Ricky-Jade Jones, but before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel. Get down in that comment section, let me know what you think about Ricky-Jade Jones and if you'd like him for your team. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub, and of course, if you haven't already, check out the website pitchsidepub.com. Born and bred in Peterborough, England, Ricky-Jade Jones had the good fortune of growing up with a boyhood club as well run and as known for developing young talent as Peterborough United. Jones joined the club as an academy player and has known nothing else in his footballing career, making his first team debut at the tender age of 16. It was a meteoric rise for the young forward, who soon established himself as a regular in the first team by the age of 18. It was at this time that the first wave of Premier League interest began to sniff around London Road Stadium, with Manchester United, Spurs, and Liverpool all showing interest to various degrees. But Peterborough had little interest in parting with their most talented youngster unless the price was very right. Jones put his name on the map with an impressive goal against Premier League side Burnley in the FA Cup in 2020 as a 17-year-old, a game in which the other posh goal was scored by current Premier League striker Ivan Toney. In fact, Jones was subbed on to play alongside Toney in a dual striker formation in that game, a formation which serves Jones quite well. The Posh saw a promotion to the Championship in the 21-22 season, which provided Jones with a platform to showcase his talents on a larger stage. Despite his tender age of 20, Jones played 18 games, starting 6, and got valuable experience in the always grueling Championship level, but it brought to light what has become his critics' easiest target, his lack of goals. The trend continued even after Peterborough were relegated back to League One the following season, with Jones netting just 4 goals in over 1,000 minutes across all competitions in the 22-23 campaign. But this season has been a different story. Finally establishing himself as a regular starter, Jones exploded for 12 goals and 5 assists across 4 different competitions, playing a major role in Peterborough's EFL trophy winning run. Now at just 21 years old, Jones stands at the precipice of a potentially transformative moment in his career, with Premier League clubs once again coming calling the Posh. But what about Jones makes him so intriguing to a Premier League side? At the heart of Jones' game lies a singular attribute that sets him apart from his peers: his blistering, world-class caliber pace. Clocking an impressive 10.9 seconds in the 100-meter dash, Jones possesses a rare blend of speed and agility that strikes fear into the hearts of both defenders and attackers. For context, that's the same speed that Kylian Mbappe has been clocked at on the pitch by player tracking software. While technical skills may translate at higher levels to varying degrees of success, we know that speed will play at any level, which is part of what makes Jones such an intriguing prospect. Yet his contributions extend beyond the realm of raw athleticism. Despite being a forward, Jones' potential impact in the Premier League may be more for his ability to disrupt his opponent while out of possession. Paired with a high work rate, Jones has proven himself to be a disruptive force at the top of a high press, able to pester opposing defenders into making mistakes with his relentless intensity. But at the highest levels, forwards have to score or create scoring opportunities for their teammates, and until this season, that was the biggest knock on Jones. Before this season, Jones had just 12 goals and 3 assists to his name in 94 professional appearances. Despite his impressive goal tally this season, there are still questions about Jones' finishing. He led League One in non-penalty XG per game at .53. But his non-penalty actual goals per game was only .34, good for 26th in the league, suggesting his finishing is not on par with his ability to create opportunities for himself. His .14 assists per game from open play was good for just 60th best in League One, and his x-assists of .07 would suggest that even there he had some good fortune. His .62 chances created per game was 234th best in League One, a poor overall showing for an attacker on a team with as much scoring prowess as Peterborough had this past season when they led League One in goals from open play. Still, a league-leading XG shows an ability to create opportunities for himself and a fearlessness to take those chances when they present themselves, which is a skill that can't always be taught. At higher levels, Jones will need to be able to create more chances for his teammates, and when taking on better defenders, he will find it more difficult to create his own chances. But even at the highest levels, he will be faster and have a quicker first step than most of the defenders marking him, giving his production a chance to translate. Still, his finishing and team build-up play within a system against an organized defensive block will need improvement if he is going to make an offensive impact in the Premier League. A team that often finds itself in possession during its games may find it difficult to exploit Jones's ability to maximum effectiveness, but a low block counter-attacking team that likes to exploit chances out on the break, or an aggressive counter-pressing team that likes to pressure their opponent's back line could put Jones' skill set to excellent use. Jones has appeared primarily as a center forward during his time with Peterborough, though he'll have to dramatically improve his finishing to play as one at the Premier League level, even on a squad more focused on pressuring its opponents than on clinical play and possession. Additionally, his speed is awfully enticing on the wing, where he has also featured at times. On the Athletics 18 player roles chart, Jones would fall somewhere between the roamer central attacker and the wide threat wide attacker, where his speed can allow him to get behind opponents and exploit over-aggressive fullbacks who get too involved in the offense. The best case scenario, which is admittedly an extremely long shot at this point for Jones, would be a player like Luis Diaz or Anthony Gordon, who both feature elite speed and are aggressive on the press when out of possession, unafraid to go in for tackles when necessary. Of course, Jones's finishing is a number of levels behind either one of those players at this point, thus making that a long shot, but given Newcastle's interest in Jones, it's important to point out that he would be categorized more as a depth option for a player like Gordon than a backup striker for somebody like Isak. More realistically, Jones could aspire to the level of someone like Justin Kluivert at Bournemouth, and even that would take some developmental steps forward to reach that level of play. Yet, to reduce Jones to mere statistics would be a grave disservice to his talents. While he may not have lit up the scoreboards with the regularity that many expected, and there is clearly still work to do to achieve his ceiling, his contributions on the pitch, specifically his ability to press effectively out of possession, can be significant and are those that often do not show up on the scoresheet. Newcastle United is the Premier League club currently showing the most reported interest in Ricky-Jade Jones, which makes sense given manager Eddie Howe's propensity to press and their need for depth after an injury-riddled season. Additionally, their limited budget could be all the justification they need for going after Jones, who could be a low-cost option compared to most. Transfermarkt has his value listed at €500,000, though reports indicate he could go for a couple £1,000,000. Regardless, he could make a low-cost impact for a cash-strapped squad. Still, a jump from the Posh to the Magpies could be too much for Jones. Premier League offers, however, and Premier League money are enticing for both player and club, and Jones need look no further than the 4 years it's been since the top level last showed interest in him to wonder if this opportunity will appear again. But overextending oneself to a level beyond their current ability has taken down young players more talented than Jones. With his world-class pace, his skill and determination, Ricky-Jade Jones fits the profile of a player worth taking a flyer on for a Premier League club who plays a style that fits his strengths, and luckily his low cost should keep expectations somewhat realistic. But a jump to the Premier League is a risk for both club and player, as Jones is far from a finished product and still has a lot of development left in front of him. What do you think? Would you like Ricky-Jade Jones on your club? Maybe if the price is right. Get down in that comment section. Let me know what you think. You can also hit us up on Twitter at PitchsidePub. You can leave your comments on there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, check out the website, pitchsidepub.com. Thanks as always for joining us on Soccer Wonder Kids here at the Pitchside Pub.